Alright, let's talk about how you get set up to be a developer for iOS. Now, whether you're doing native development with Swift or Objective-C, or if you're doing hybrid development with Cordova, you need to have an Apple developer account so that you can use Xcode, write your projects, compile them, test them on devices, and eventually put them up on the App Store. So let's start at the Apple developer account. If you go to the website developer.apple.com and you come over here and you click on the account link, you're going to be asked to log in. Now this is with an Apple ID. If you already have an Apple ID, if you signed up for some other Apple device, for iTunes or something, you can use that Apple ID to log in. I can enter my Apple ID. And there we go. Password. Then, if you don't have one, you can click on this link to create an Apple ID. Once you've signed in, sure, why not? Let's save this and we'll say allow, enter this number. Two-factor authentication is always a good thing to have set up. There we go. So we're into the account. If you have been invited by a team, so I have my personal account as well as a team that I'm part of. So if you've had an invite from a team, you're going to use that invite after you've logged in to get in here and say, yeah, this is what I want to take part in. So my personal one, I'm not using that. I'm going to use my team. I'm logged in now under the team. And one of the first things that you're going to need to do is you need to set up a certificate. So for the certificates, you're going to come in here and create a new one. So clicking on the plus sign here. So through the account, we logged in. Click on the button for certificates. If you're already on this screen, you can go to certificates all. We're going to be creating a development one. Clicking on the plus sign here. We want iOS app development. We're under development. We're just setting that. We're not going to talk about production in this video. Once we've got that, we're going to move on to continue. We need to create a CSR file, a certificate signing request. This thing right here. To do that, we need to use Keychain Access. Now, this program you'll find inside the utilities. If you go into Finder, if you go into Applications down to Utilities, you'll find Keychain Access there, or if you do the command space to bring up Spotlight Search and you search for Keychain Access, you'll find it that way. This is the program that we're using. Inside here, in the main menu, we want to go to Certificate Assistant. This is where we are going to request a certificate from a certificate authority. That's what we want to use. So we need to fill in our user email address. And we're going to save this to disk. That's all we need to do. So your name, email address, save to disk. Continue. Saving it to the desktop, that's a great place. You'll see it is called certificate signing request.cert signing request. Save that file, remember that where that is. You can show in Finder, there it is. Okay, we're done. Now that's all we need to do in Keychain Access. We're going to jump back over to the website, continue, and upload that file. So Keychain Access to create the CSR file, come back in here, and we are going to jump over to the desktop, find that certificate signing request file, open that, continue, and here it is. So my name is associated with this already. Great. I can download that file. If I click on that, Keychain Access is going to open this file, and there we are. This has now been registered inside of Keychain Access. Done. Okay, that part is finished. Now, next, what we want to do is we want to go into Xcode. So over in Finder, here's an Xcode project that I created. Now this is a Cordova mobile application. My www folder, this is all my web files, the website that I'm turning into a mobile app. Inside of the platforms folder, you'll see there's an iOS platform folder. Inside there, here is the Xcode project file. If I double click on that, that will bring Xcode. There it is. Xcode is now open. And inside of here, we want to select the project. So whatever the top level here is, select this. And inside of signing, down inside of here, you should be able to get your certificates showing up if you're part of a team. So this one requires me to be part of a team. That's because of the certificate that I created. So I can select my team, and this will set it up. There we go. So I am allowed to create apps with this certificate. And if I go into Xcode Preferences, now mine's already configured, so I'm not having any issues here. But under Xcode Preferences, I bring up this menu, I go into Accounts. You should see your Apple ID here. If it's not showing up, you want to click on the plus sign, Apple ID, continue. It will ask you to log in or create the Apple ID, which you should already have at this point. Once that's there, down inside the bottom here, we can, with that selected, we can manage certificates. There we go, the media design, that's the team that I'm on right now. Manage certificates. And there it is. There is the certificate that I created. This was last April that I created this one. So we're all good. Team does not have program membership eligible for this feature. Okay, well that's just because of the team that I have selected right now. That's not a big issue. So I have this set up. This is going to let me do development work. I'm not doing this to post up to the App Store. That's why I was getting that error message. So that gives me all the information that I need to get set up doing the initial development. When I want to start testing this on devices, I have to jump back over to the website. So the certificate was the first thing that we set up. We've got that set up. Inside of devices, if you are an administrator, if you're doing this by yourself, you'll be able to come into devices, you'll be able to add devices on here with and put the UDIDs. I have another video about how to get the UDIDs out of your devices. Once that's done, then you're going to want to go into provisioning profiles. And these are invalid because I've removed people from these teams. But I can create a new provisioning profile, and I'll show you what it looks like here. We're doing iOS app development. This is the wildcard, is the certificate that I'm using. Continue from here, and then I can select as many users as I want. So let's just pick a couple of users, go to the next one, and then I can pick devices. So let's say that I want to use iPhone 5C. Continue. So I've got two certificates. These are two users and one device. If you're doing this by yourself, then you're the only user certificate. You will have one, possibly more devices, and identifiers, so app IDs. If you're doing this by yourself, you're probably going to be registering for an identifier, and that will become part of your certificate. So I can call this the demo provisioning profile. Continue. There we go, done. Now, that one you can see is an active one. I've got two valid users, one valid device. I can download this one and click on that. We have provisioning profiles. These you need to download. You've got the certificate signing request that you had to create your initial certificate. The initial certificate is going to let you build projects in Xcode. The provisioning profile is going to let you put your app onto actual devices to do testing. So there's the two different things that you need to have set up. And then inside Xcode itself, you have to make sure that you've got the signing set up and your preferences for the account. You have your Apple ID and you're pointing to the right certificate here. All right, so a whole bunch of different moving parts. Hopefully that will help you out and get you started. Thanks for watching.